Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.22 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 3.3%. 60,800 plus for Bitcoin, 2,300 plus for Ethereum right now, 119 billion plus market cap for Tether, 34 billion plus for USDC. XRP's 52 at the number 7 spot. We're off by 0.2 in the 24. We're up 2.8 on the 7-day. So let's take a look at the range of price very quickly. Very tight trading range between 52, 53 cents. It's what we normally see when the market's kind of just sitting in its normal range, right? A tight trading range. So we'll keep an eye on it. I do want to tell you about this, though. It's linked to the best private equity in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Now, don't mind telling you, you can still get Ripple. You can still get Uphold. But please leave me some. I would like to get some soon. I'm preparing. I'm trying to do it. I always try to get the private equity as I can because I love it. I know that this is what the wealthiest 1% of the people, this is where they really make their wealth. You don't believe it, it's still true. And you can too. Click the link underneath the video and just sign up and register. It takes less than 5 minutes to fund your account. And I'm telling you, 79 companies available, and every one of them are standouts in their space. I'm not even kidding. But this stuff really doesn't last long, so don't mess around. Sign up, register, get started, fund your account, less than 5 minutes, and be ready to strike on the private equity that you want in your portfolio. Palau will move tokenization to the retail public. Well, this is a giant step, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we know Palau is a small region, but it has been a wonderful test bed, and the people there are absolutely amazing. And because of the unique nature of how their system works and their local economy, stable coins and digital assets are serving to be a great role for all of them there. And we're learning a lot, right? Because Palau uses the US dollar. There were stablecoin trials there a couple years ago, and other trials are happening now. Now they're moving to this tokenization and bringing it to the retail public, which, by the way, is the final step. When you start going to consumers, this is a big deal. Now, we all know that here domestically, we still need legislation, but this test bed over in Palau has been a wonderful, wonderful way to test out this technology. Big things are coming. They're preparing, and I love every single bit of it. So, with that being said, let's understand this. We know that Swift is moving forward. In 2025, they will be doing live trials of digital assets. And they know that in order to do these live trials, they had to have ISO 20022 in place, which is the standardized messaging. This is a protocol, for anyone who doesn't know, that's existed for more than a decade. But they chose that protocol out of all the others, like the MT messages and MX messages. They chose to go with ISO 20022 for standardization, just like you saw in the shipping industry. The way they standardize all the ports, all the cranes, all the trucks, all the containers, all the ships to carry them. That standardization brought an efficiency that really employed the Jevons paradox. And that Jevons paradox is when you make changes to try to make something more efficient because it costs so much to use it. Like if you look at the Industrial Revolution. It cost so much to burn coal that they couldn't afford to do it until the furnace was made to burn more efficiently. Then they could actually spend more money on burning coal because it burned so efficiently they could run 24 hours a day making steel, right? So this is the thing. Jevons paradox is when you go to save money on something to make it more efficient, but then realize you can actually spend more money on what you're doing because you can ramp up the cost and production and process, right? So this is exciting because this is what I see happening here in the payments world. The same thing happened in the Industrial Revolution. The same thing that happened to the shipping industry with the standardization there. That's what's happening to finance now. And we're going to see the velocity of money once the new digital economy and the new payment rails are in place. You're going to see the velocity of money take off and see the same explosion for finance the same way that we did with global shipping. That's what we're talking about. I'm excited. And I realized in that breakdown just what a nerd I am to be so excited about such a thing. But I am excited. And we all know what it means if Swift gets in the game, starts moving digital assets around, and certainly if XRP too, the numbers will be astronomical. And $60 overnight would just be a drop in the bucket, wouldn't it? So I love this article. We don't have to get into it. You just know the reason we're talking about Swift is because it is coming. And you're going to see more evidence of that throughout all the videos we do today. There's so much information today. I love it. Now, a reminder, Canary Capital files for a spot XRP exchange-traded fund with the SEC. Who's Canary Capital? Stephen McClurg. Who is Stephen McClurg? He came from Valkyrie. Yeah. Which is a company that is really good at launching ETFs, right? So super excited about this. This is the second one we've seen, right? So we're going to keep an eye on it. Now, Canary has also filed for an H-bar trust, which I would imagine would end up growing into eventually a ETF as well. Just remember, like Grayscale started an XRP trust, and then that probably will become an ETF at some point. Now, this is a throwback to Larry Fink here when he was asked by Charles Gasparino about an XRP ETF. This is hard to hear, but we'll get it. There's a section, I want you to hear one part.
Advent of Bitcoin ETFs is an example that we're legitimizing it.
There it is. The advent of Bitcoin ETFs is an example that we're legitimizing it. Isn't this what I've been saying to you? I will hold Bitcoin as long as BlackRock does and Fidelity does. The moment I see them change that position, it's no longer legitimized, and I'll be gone. That's why I believe Bitcoin is being used as a financial band-aid for the collapse that will be coming probably right after the election as a parting gift from this administration. But obviously he went on to be asked about other ETFs, and that's when Charles had asked him. He couldn't talk about it. He says, I want you to talk about it. He said, I can't. And then he says, they're giving me the rap. So that's when he asked him about an XRP ETF, and he said he can't talk about it. And we know Charles is such a fan of XRP, right? Oh. You know, when all of this unfolds, you're going to find out that Charles Gasparino is nothing more than a media rat, right? You know that. Everyone knows that, right? And it will be Charles's fault that we know it because of the position that he so profoundly took before legislation got here. He's another great example of how we don't have free press. Bloomberg discusses XRP ETF filing. Ether ETF does not see so many inflows. Take a listen to this exchange, and then take a listen to the subtle way that they try to associate XRP as the same view as Dogecoin.
We've already got ETFs for Ethereum. It makes sense that regulators would approve other large coins as well, right?
No, we don't know that, especially because this is the 7th largest coin. There's a Solana filing, and then it was pulled out, and we have Bloomberg Intelligence, James Seyfarth, saying it was dead on arrival because the SEC is still really kind of against this. They're kind of skeptical, and actually this filing comes against the backdrop of two things. Number one, it comes after a judge ordered Ripple to pay $125 million after improperly selling their tokens as a fraction of the $2 billion SEC wanted. And number two, it comes against the U.S. presidential elections just a month away. And we know that the Republicans are viewed as more friendly towards crypto. So we also have people saying issuers will follow suit if the Republican president becomes the president.
Do people want this? Is this the type of thing that people are clamoring for the way they were clamoring for Bitcoin ETFs?
That's a setup question right there. And do people want this? Right? Oh, Ken over there. Do people want this? Because I'm really like a Bitcoin guy, you know?
It's never going to be the same degree because the Bitcoin ETFs are really just a field of its own. I mean, even with flows, we have 18 billion in that. Ether is not even seeing inflows, it's net outflows. But still, you can't deny that ETFs are easy to trade. I mean, it's the 7th largest token. We have the Solana filing. You know what the 8th largest token is?
What is it?
Dogecoin.
Of course.
So that can be the next. I don't know.
So
but
is the next ETF?
Is there a Doge filing for an
Not
ETF?
yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to have to write that up if it happens. But who knows? We have Elon Musk still a big proponent of Dogecoin. But
Look, here's the bottom line here, okay? She's right in that not every ETF is going to have the same reaction as Bitcoin. Because when we get legislation, Ken over here is going to find out exactly the difference between Bitcoin and XRP, right? Because nobody wants to use Bitcoin for cross-border payments or the settlement of clearing and derivatives market. But they're going to want to use it with XRP. The efficiency's there. These people have their moment now. We will have the last laugh. And I'm not here to have the last laugh. I'm here to get my time back. It just so happens to be because of the lack of due diligence of them wanting to understand fully what's about to take place. See, what happens that I see is a lot of people understand this space the way it is today, but they're not paying attention to what it's going to look like tomorrow. They think 5-10 years ahead as the market looks today. But the market isn't going to look like that after we get legislation. This market doesn't belong to us anymore. We all know this, don't we? How long have the banks been watching this? What do you think the ETFs are all about? They're about bringing the financial advisors in, the investment banks. That's what this is about. They're sick and tired of it. They're ready to run the show now. And isn't that what they've been doing by proxy through Gary Gensler's stinking ass? Of course it is. Meanwhile, the Digital Pound Foundation is welcoming another member, agent or a Gant, however you want to say it. You know, some of these names out here, they got to do better. They got to do better. Anyway, looking beyond the name. A Gant is building a pound sterling stablecoin, which I am super excited about. But then they celebrate the rest of the members on the list, which we all know they're here. Ripple's right there, baby. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Because this is where we're going. You're going to love what you see next. Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple collaborates with the Digital Economy Council of Australia. This is amazing. Key policy reforms support tokenization of real-world assets. It says here, productivity uplift opportunity of Australian economy is 12 billion in annual gains in existing markets. The large innovation uplift can do things with digital assets that can't be done, which we also know. Our position in the global economy, globally across all asset classes, we estimate there is a $2 trillion opportunity with intense competition between countries for slices of this global pie. Absolutely. And I don't mind showing you this too. Rahul Advani here. If you're a responsible innovator, you're not looking at building for the next 1, 2, or 3 months. You're looking for building the next 5 or 10 years. That's exactly right. In the next 5 or 10 years, this space don't belong to us anymore. I'm not saying you can't be in it. I'm just saying it don't belong to us anymore. And I'm going to prove it right now. Ripple launches crypto storage services for banks. Yeah, yes they do. Ripple said it is launching a slew of features aimed, listen to this, let me get this off of here. Oh, gracious. Sorry about that. So Ripple launches crypto custody services, and basically they said it's launching a slew of features aimed at helping banks, fintechs store digital tokens. As a part of a broader push in the crypto custody. Crypto custody, a type of service that helps clients' crypto assets, is a nascent business for Ripple, which has consolidated its efforts under a single brand called Ripple Custody. Ripple is primarily known for XRP cryptocurrency, RippleNet, and a distributed interbank payment settlement platform. And now they're launching crypto custody storage services for banks. Oh, is that a fact? Just announced, Ripple launching crypto custody, and here if you see this, Ripple made a major foray into crypto custody on Thursday, launching a new services aimed at helping banks and financial technology firms to store digital assets on behalf of clients. Now, why would they be doing that? because they want to unlock a $20 trillion digital asset market opportunity. $20 trillion. Riz has got it. They're playing the long game, ladies and gentlemen. And I say to this whole thing, oh, look, Ripple is launching crypto custody service for banks. You know why? Because the banks are going to use digital assets, which also means we're about to get legislation in 24 or 25. Otherwise, they wouldn't need custody at all. Isn't that right? We all know it's right. We're not here to be right. Now, we need to be right to get wealthy, but we're here because we've seen enough information. You haven't left because you keep seeing the answer. You keep seeing the growth. You keep seeing the expansion. You keep seeing the connections, the partnerships, the market infrastructure. All of it is still there. In fact, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We just need legislation. And I know I hammer it home all the time, and you're probably sick of hearing me say it. But I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass about it being something else. That's what we need. So that's what we're here for. Anders says here, and I wanted to share this because I think he's so spot on, and I agree with him. The way I personally view what Ripple is building now is simply not just cross-border payment solution. It's not just tokenizing assets or DeFi products. It's about being a large player in building the new banking infrastructure for the coming decades, and all of these products are just part of that ultimate vision. That's exactly how I see this, and this is why I've told you that I believe Ripple, the XRP Ledger, Stellar, XLM, Paxos, USDC, the real USD, all of these things will become pillars for the U.S.'s presence in the new digital economy that connect us to the rest of the world. Well, I tell you what, Egg Rag Crypto has been super bullish. I know he is loving what he's seeing on these charts. Listen how bullish he is. Epic drop. Are you ready? The moment we've all been waiting for is here. This is just the beginning. Get ready for the ride of your life. XRP gears up for something massive. Don't blink or you might miss it. Stay steady, stay sharp, hold strong. This is an inverted chart, so it's upside down. And sometimes technical analysts do this not to fool you or to play games with you, but because sometimes it can make charts easier to see when you invert them, what is going on. Right? Much easier to see where it looks like, oh, of course it looks like it would break down, right? Instead of going up. Well, the chart is upside down, so we're looking at a first drop, boom. That could bust right out of the gate, and we could see new all-time highs out of that. So getting above that crucial 75-cent line, that micro target, that's where I want to see us get. And I know what this market does when we break $1. It is amazing to watch. XRP doesn't move a ton, but when it does, it is out of this world. And I can't wait for all of us to watch it together. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. And today, you're going to watch how our own government uses their own time with our money to lie to every one of us, to deceive every one of us in order for their own gain, and weaponizing social media. It is sickening to the highest order. And you're going to see it in clear evidence as congressional testimony, no less. So we're going into the Freedom Zone right now. Go to digitalperspectives.com, join the Freedom Zone. For the less than cost a cup of coffee, you can help support the channel, and it is super appreciated. You know how hard it is to do what we do every day, and I appreciate each and every one of you that donate to the channel. It is not a big investment at all, but I love having the dialogue and access together, direct connection to you guys, no doubt about it. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone. Come on in. All right, well.